Good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Surrounded by Love. Today is Tuesday, July the 28th. Can you believe it? We're made it to the end of another month. And today's topic, I have a question. Is being in a comfort zone a good thing? And when I say that, you can have comfort zones in various areas of your life, but today we're going to stick to professional, in a professional arena. So that would be work, that could even be operating in your own business. So is being in a comfort zone a good thing? When you think about a comfort zone, it's something that keeps you safe. It can also be related to as being complacent or complacency, which is showing smug or uncritical satisfaction with yourself or your achievements. It's a secure place, so it's something that you're familiar with. And also being in a secure place makes you unaware of impending danger because you're operating as if everything is okay when the environment has changed and you're not keeping up with the change. And a lot of times we operate from our comfort zones is because we don't like change. And change can make you feel awkward because it's different. It's something you don't know, you're not familiar with, and you would have to learn about what's going on. And sometimes, or most often than not, we don't like to learn new things. We feel that if we learn something one way, we want to continue to operate in that manner as if life is just consistent and stuck in one area or one era. We have technology, and technology often comes to make things easier for us or to make us more efficient with our time. And that's another conversation in itself. And when you're in your comfort zone and you refuse to accept that your environment is going through changes, that means you avoid situations where either you can speak up or offer to learn something new or be a change champion in your department. And avoidance, the definition of the word is the action or keeping away from not doing something. So it's almost like you being avoidant of a situation is like you refuse to do it, even though you may not verbally announce that, but your actions is showing that you're refusing to do it and that you have a problem with it and you're not going to do it. So for those of you who have returned to work, such as myself, everything is different. You may not see the same number of people in the office, or some of you may have been also um, caused to return back home to work if you can operate in that capacity. But even if you are in an office setting, some people may be there and some may not. Some may actually still be on furlough. And whatever the situation may be, my personal advice to you would be this is not the time to say what you wouldn't do. And also be mindful or pay attention to who come and ask you to do things. Because like for me, the environment where I am now is not that many people around. And so it's more of the executives that you see. So they come and they just ask menial questions and request that you do simple things. And I don't believe it's coincidental. I think it's all for a purpose. But if I was a person that was resistant to change and like, well, why they come and ask me to do this? That's not my department. That's not my job. Do you think that's wise? I just do it. It doesn't matter because as long as I'm coming home with what they paid me, I'm fine. So those are some questions you should ask yourself. And I brought that up because in life we will all face situations that we must adapt to, that we must change our focus. We must change our way of doing things in order for us to be successful. You can't hide from it. You can't run from it. It's bound to happen to you. If it haven't yet, I'm here to tell you sooner rather than later, you will see it. You will encounter this. So, in order for you to grow and in order for you to learn, because in life you have to be a life learner, you can't just get to this place and feel like even if you are doing well and feel like you have reached a level of success that you have desired for yourself, there's always more. So you don't ever want to be to where you know everything. You don't. So in order to come out of your comfort zone, you need courage. Just to take that one step, take the first step. And that's what opened the doorways to new things and for you to also learn so you can continue to grow. Operating in a place of a comfort zone or being complacent will also cause you to lose out on promotions and advancement. So maybe those menial tasks that you may have been requested to do that you felt was beneath you or beneath your title or beneath your pay grade, maybe it was just a test to see your true character. I believe in this time where we are now, what you expected is there, but it will not come packaged the way you expect it. So the gift wrapping and the bow and maybe the lights, the camera, and the action you want to see, you probably won't. It will come, it will present itself, but it will be unusual. And I believe that's the word for this year, unusual. It will be something you have never known. You would have never expected or thought, imagined it for it to arrive the way it will arrive. So when you know you're in a comfort zone and you know that you don't like whatever changes that are taking place, in order you ask, okay, well, if I know that, then what I need to do or how do I come out of it? The first step is to be honest with yourself. So you have to have that reflection or that reflective mode moment with yourself. Why are you being so resistant? What about the situation makes you uncomfortable? Or why are you so angry? Or what about the situation is upsetting to you? And if you still don't understand and if you feel uneasy, maybe you should go and speak with someone that's on your job or send them an email. Maybe you all can FaceTime or talk over the phone about whatever is going on. And that way you can clarify your inhibitions or bring up your bottlenecks or what makes you cringe about whatever it is that is changing or propose to be changed or something that's soon to come. Once you're honest with yourself and open with yourself about what's going on, you can then be able to verbalize how you truly feel. And maybe all you need is some clarification. Maybe what you thought you heard is not what it is. And it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to, if something is presented to you, no, you may not agree with it. But don't get in a place of like, well, I'm just not, that's not a good look either. That won't get you anywhere. You can not like something, but you can also inquire about it as well. So you can get the education or the knowledge you need on the subject or on the matter. You can't make decisions based on how you feel in a moment because you may not have all of the information. You don't see all the moving parts of what's going on, especially the behind the scenes action. So you have to keep those things in mind. And another way to come out of your comfort zone, you just have to take that leap of faith. Sometimes you may have to jump, even if you're scared. Sometimes that's the way it has to be, because often than not, you'll remain where you are. No, it may not come or flow the way you want, and that's being a perfectionist, that's controlling. You got to let it go. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. No, it may not fall the way you wanted it or the way you planned it or intended it to be, but just keep moving. And when you are encountering something that's outside of your realm of comfort, just do it a little at a time. Start small. You don't have to um, make a drastic change or encounter something so dramatic or make it a huge undertaking and expect for everything to just fall in place overnight. That is not a healthy way to think, because you will overwhelm yourself and you will cause yourself more harm than good. But just do it little by little, because avoiding a situation or just acting as if everything is just going to fall in place on its own is not healthy either. And when you taking those steps, even if you're doing them in little increments or small increments, be gracious with yourself when things don't go the way you plan or if you mess up something. Okay? It's okay, because even those mistakes that you make or the errors that may occur, that is all a part of the learning process. Sometimes we don't learn new things until we mess up trying to do it. And then you find out, you at that moment find out more information that brings you more light on a situation than what you thought you knew, and you assume that you were the authority on the topic. So just keep that in mind. It's all a part of the process. No, you're not going to do everything perfect. It's not going to all just fall in place overnight. It's not. But don't just become frozen in time and just stuck in your own way. Because when you refuse to change, you will be your own worst enemy. You yourself will be the person that will stunt your growth. It's no one else. It will be all of your own doing. So you have to be honest and be realistic. If you're uncomfortable, just say it, but continue to move on. If you're not sure of something, ask questions. You need clarification, say that. Or if you do know and you still don't like it, you can voice it. And maybe if you hear the reasons behind it, it may bring light to you as well. You can't avoid something because you feel like if you speak on a topic or if you speak on a situation, it would cause friction Sometimes you have to speak up. You can't just avoid things and expect for it to change. And then when it doesn't, you become bitter because you didn't open up your mouth and say something because you didn't feel safe. Maybe you didn't have to speak on it in front of a large group. You could have just pulled a person to the side or send them a message or call them. Have a one on one with the person to get further clarification or just speak on how you feeling about the situation. So that's all I came in today to talk to you all about. Just be mindful of what's going on around you. Don't get too comfortable. And I think that's a good idea to have in life. You can never just get complacent in anything that you do. Because even as life is constantly changing, society is, even your spouse, your children, everything is always moving. Change is always happening. Change is inevitable. Change is a constant. You just remaining there, it won't help you. So just keep that in mind. And then also ask yourself, well, why am I so upset? Or why am I refusing to do? Be honest with yourself. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for your time with listening in. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares and the views. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, Surrounded by Love. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at D as in Danielle, Liz, Liz as in zebra, Caesar, Ceaser. Again, that's at D Liz Caesar for Instagram and Twitter. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, you can email me at surroundedbylove20 at gmail.com. And that is all one word, surroundedbylove20 at gmail.com. Thank you again, and I should see you all again sometime this week. Have a blessed week. Stay safe, and we'll talk later.